The Tao of Self-Confidence, episode 253. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. Visit our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits. Well, hello friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap Chan, and today I have an amazing lady on today. She is a writer, a performer, and a community organizer, and I'm really excited to have her on and share her story and tips with us on self-confidence. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Lauren Bullock. Lauren, how are you today? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more about yourself to our listeners.
I'm doing great, actually. Thanks for having me. So the weather's actually been really nice, so that's why I'm in a great mood. So I'm in the DC area. I am, like you said, I am a writer. I am a poet. I've been doing spoken word poetry for a minute, but I've also been doing writing poetry all my life. I have also done poetry slams, and I also do write articles for nerd culture website Black Nerd Problems.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And Lauren, what's your cultural background?
So I'm actually, I identify as mixed. I'm half Black, a quarter Vietnamese, and a quarter white. And also gender, I identify as a woman, and sexuality-wise, I identify as asexual.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. And, what would be your favorite self-confidence quote?
So I have to say one quote that helps me as an artist is by Maxine Hong Kingston. She has this beautiful quote, "In a time of destruction, create something." And I think that's really helped me because, I think, our self-confidence, we tend to be afraid, but, it's the necessity of the creation is what really pushes me.
I love it, because a lot of people think, when something bad happens, it's it's the end of the world.
Right.
It's there's no turning back. But sometimes when something bad happens, that can be a good thing just because it helps you become stronger and be the person that you were meant to be. I've been watching some videos and, they say life happens for us, not to us. So when we see things in that way, it makes a huge difference. So I really love that quote that you mentioned. And, in your own words, how would you define self-confidence?
I think for me, it's been an interesting road to self-confidence because the way I was kind of raised was there's a fine line between bravado and being very cocky or selfish. Right? And the difference between selfishness and self-love and self-confidence. There's a fine line. But I think it really is about being able to believe in yourself and not think negatively of yourself, but also being able to support other people, right? I think that's a huge sign when you can be happy for other people's accomplishments because your accomplishments are yours at the end of the day, right? And somebody else getting something or whatever, winning something doesn't affect your path necessarily.
I love it. And it's so true. And I think it's great to, congratulate and celebrate other people's accomplishments just because, we all live in this mindset of abundance. There's always more than enough for everybody. So, I like that definition that you mentioned. And, what was your life like before your discovery of self-confidence?
So I grew up moving around a lot, and I was also a shy introvert. So those are two combinations of not being able to really make friends easily. And so a lot of the times as introverts, it's just easier to just play by yourself or, just do activities that are solo. I read a lot, I played online a lot. But yeah, I was pretty withdrawn, and it was really hard for me to make friends just because I was very afraid of that rejection.
Thanks for sharing that. And I think that's something we all can relate to, right? That fear of being rejected, not belonging to some place. We all go through it. And sometimes it's those times when we're alone when we can realize something good can come out of this. Either that you get sick and tired and you just want things to change. What was that point in your life when you realized you knew, you were a powerful person and, you were just going to do whatever it takes to be the person that you are today? What was that aha moment in your life?
I think I have a couple. I think there's the social aha and then there's the artistic aha. Because I know definitely socially there was a moment, my first year of high school, didn't really know anybody. I'd maybe knew a handful of people coming in, but at the orientation I didn't see anybody I knew and definitely just went out of my way to talk to some people, which was not like me at all, and was just very surprised by the positive feedback. I know also artistically, once I started getting into spoken word specifically and being able to have like kind of that immediate face-to-face feedback, you know, like it's one thing to like write something and then somebody doesn't really have to look at you and then like be like, oh, this is great, you know, but being able to like share that, like share my stories and share kind of events in my life and opinions I had, and seeing people like in that moment like absorbing it, I think like that was the moment where I was like, oh, okay, yeah, it is okay to like be me.
I love it. I mean, you know, sometimes we try to put on these masks because we're so afraid to show our true selves, not realizing when we just let go or take that mask off, that's when we can, you know, that's when people will come to us, because they can feel your authenticity. They can feel your passion and your purpose. So, you know, after those realizations, what's your life been like now?
I think I'm still like having those aha moments, like I said, every day. There's ways that I find ways to build my self-confidence. You know, like there's moments where like I'm advertising shows I host, or I'm featuring, or I'm submitting work to be published, or I'm sharing articles I've written, or what have you. And like, you know, I have to give myself permission in that moment. And I've like learned how to do that, to be like, oh no, it's okay to like put myself out there, right? Like it's not taking up too much space or whatever. And yeah, I've definitely, I think also one of the things I discovered was the like faking it till you make it. Like people always say that, but it definitely is true. It's definitely helped me in so many ways, just to like hold your breath and take the plunge. And then that pays off. Because like, you know, like we like all kind of do it. And so definitely, yeah, I think like that's helped me with my self-confidence.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And, you know, Lauren, to the woman who's listening to your episode, she may be in her own journey of self-confidence. What would be that one tip you would give to her?
I would say definitely taking care of yourself first and finding ways to love yourself, which isn't like, I feel like there's like this kind of Tumblr culture around like, you know, light some scented candles and like take a bubble bath or whatever. But I think it really is just remembering the basic, like, you know, stretching, drinking water, you know, playing a fun game, making sure you're getting enough sleep, right? Because one of the first things that happens when you're running yourself down is that like your self-confidence starts to slip, right? Because like, you know, like you're kind of foggy and like your body is demanding attention. And I think, you know, like once, like when you're paying attention to what your body needs, that's when you start to feel good. And that's when, you know, like your confidence starts to build.
Love the tips that you mentioned. And, you know, it's great that you mentioned, you know, doing these things like taking a nap, because our body and our minds are so connected. Like nobody realizes that our body is telling us things like when we're sick, you know, it's telling us just rest, you know, just sleep. And then, you know, once we recharge, we're better and more powerful than we realize. So, you know, love the tips that you mentioned. And if our listeners want to connect with you and get to know a little bit more about what you do, is there any links or social media profiles we can connect with?
Yeah, absolutely. So my website is laurenbullockpoetry.com, no spaces, LaurenBullock poetry.com. I also have a Facebook page that you can go and like see what's happening with me. That's Lauren Bullock Poet. And then my Twitter handle is Bullock Poetry. So yeah, you can come talk to me there. And we can discuss more self-confidence tips.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing all those links. And to our listeners, if you want to connect with Lauren, you can also head on over to thetaoofselfconfidence.com and search for Lauren's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else we talked about. And I really just want to thank Lauren for taking the time to share her story and tips with us on self-confidence. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was an honor having you on and share your stories. So listeners, be on the lookout for another new episode of another amazing woman's journey to self-confidence, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Thank you for tuning in to another amazing episode of The Tao of Self-Confidence. Get your free audiobook by visiting our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits.